Welcome to Chatting the Pictures. My name is Cara Finnegan, and I'm a writer, teacher, and historian of photography.
And I'm Michael Shaw. I'm a writer, a psychologist, and also publisher of Reading the Pictures.
As a sign of the times, we're seeing more and more photos that capture multiple major crises at the same time.
This photo was taken by Noah Berger for the AP. It shows flames from the LNU Lightning Complex fires burning in Napa County, California. The photo went viral for capturing two crises in one picture, the threat of COVID-19 and the enormous California firestorms wracking the state. These blazes are happening much earlier than the usual fire season.
This photo really does condense all the crises into one dramatic visual statement. And I was thinking in particular for folks in California right now, it really kind of frames their dilemma quite well. You don't know if you're safe if you evacuate and go inside into a shelter, but you certainly can't stay outside either.
The sign is really chilling, and I think I saw this picture at least a dozen times before I noticed that the sign was actually fabric. Somehow in my mind, it felt like it was made out of some kind of material that was actually melting.
I was thinking about the sign in the context of this photo as being a way that we kind of have the past, present, and future in the same photograph. So in the past, the sign probably just said, Senior Center, come join us. And then at some point, we had to improvise that middle banner that includes all of the social distancing. And then now in the middle of that, we have all of that placed within this literal conflagration. That notion of the future plays out in the photograph because that fire, of course, is moving off screen. It is extending beyond the frame. And so we know that if something hasn't been consumed by fire, maybe the foreground of the brush that we see in this photograph, pretty soon it likely will.
Noah Berger said that he's been regularly covering wildfires in California for AP, and we've had massive fires out here for years, but he said that this was definitely one of the most intense fires that he's been in the middle of.
When I first saw this photo, I have to confess that juxtaposition of the sign and the safety warnings with the dramatic orange flames just made me think this is the dumpster fire of 2020. And the fact that it's a senior center, I think, is important and something to not skip over. That we already have so much evidence that folks who are dying of COVID, those folks are older. And so this threat in the context of the senior center in particular, I think becomes even more potent.
And then I think that the photograph also, if you step back from it a second, is a beyond cautionary commentary on the climate crisis. Just the irony of the mask warning and the depletion of the ozone layer. The dangerous air quality here in Northern California has really put breathing at a premium. This is not just about a fire, but it's really another indicator of these climate events becoming much more frequent and much more serious.
Images like this chronicling events that are now happening more and more frequently with greater intensity each time, the layering upon layering of that over time, particularly in the context of a global pandemic, brings its own trauma. To say, oh, this is the picture of the giant mess we're all in is sort of dismissive, but also needs to be taken very seriously. This is the mess we're all in, and people are going to be traumatized by that.